You asked for it, Stone. Now, listen. McGregor went out there to blow up that ammunition, and himself with it, so that your father can hold up his head. You might think you can run out on that, but you can't. You're going to face it. All your life you'll face it. And your father's never going to know. And that's the debt you owe McGregor. You hear?
I hear.
Yes, then you pray that Mac has luck in blowing that place up, or you'll have no father to keep the secret from. Go on, pray. Pray, I tell you.
Oh, God, let him get away. It's a miracle I'm asking now. But he's there to die for me, for what I've done. It's I who should die,
There he
not
goes.
him.
There he goes.
Miracle,
Across the yard.
miracle.
Oh, keep going, Mac.
Miracle.
Keep going, men. Go on. He's there. He's there. Good boy, Mac. Good boy.
And by the command of His Majesty the King Emperor, and in the presence of this regiment, I confer upon you, Lieutenant Forsyth, the Distinguished Service Order.
Thank you, sir.
Second Lieutenant Donald Stone, 41st Bengal Lancers, for conspicuous gallantry in action. During the recent siege of Bengal, he broke from the cell in which he was imprisoned and attacked the enemy from within, killing their leader, Muhammad Khan, and thus demoralizing hostile forces when the success of our arms was in the balance.
Lieutenant Donald Stone, by command of His Majesty the King Emperor, and in the sight of this regiment, I confer upon you the Distinguished Service Order. My boy.
Thank you, sir.
Captain Alan McGregor, 41st Bengal Lancers, deceased. At the sacrifice of his life, he destroyed enemy ammunition supplies, contributing thereby to the success of our arms in action before the siege of Magala.
His Majesty the King Emperor has been most graciously pleased to confer posthumously the Victoria Cross upon the late Captain Alan McGregor. In accordance with the custom of this regiment, I place this cross upon the saddle cloth of his horse.
Move to the right in column of force. Form force. Right turn. To the left. Quick march.
McGregor.
Yes, to take it. To take anything. Never let the army down. That's the only thing we want out here. It's a chance to do a job. And to do it well. Well, I guess you know that now, kid.
Falls on the last act of Lives of a Bengal Lancer, starring Errol Flynn, Brian Aherne, Jackie Cooper, and C. Aubrey Smith. In a moment, our stars return for their bow. Mr. DeMille.
In Messrs. Flynn, Aherne, Cooper, and Smith, we have respectively a famous sailor, an airplane pilot, a trap drummer, and a cricket player, which leaves the field open for any topic that may pop into their distinguished head. By right of seniority, Mr. Smith, you take the lead.
Very well, then. I'll begin by suggesting that Brian and Errol report a little more consistently for cricket practice.
Do they play that sissy game?
Sissy game? Young man, just you come round to Griffith Park some Sunday afternoon and observe. You'll be playing a different tune on that drum of yours. Sissy game?
Got any ducats?
You don't need tickets, Jackie. Few people seem to know it, but they can witness a fine exhibition of cricket and some of Hollywood's greatest stars playing it for no charge at all by just coming around to the public park.
And incidentally, enjoying a nice cup of tea on the house.
Perhaps that's it, Brian. Maybe you and Errol don't like the brand of tea we've been serving after the game.
Oh, I'm awfully sorry, Mr. Smith. Rough games like cricket are all right for you youngsters, but we're getting on, you know. All the playing Errol and I have been doing lately has been on the sound stages.
But what about that trip you just made to Dodge City, Kansas, Mr. Flynn, for your new picture?
Ah, yes, Errol. I hear you had a wonderful time there. Hope I get a trip to Mexico for the premiere of Juarez.
Wait till you hear the rootin', tootin', and shootin' when Mr. DeMille opens Union Pacific in Omaha a couple of weeks from now.
Kind words, Errol. But you gave us something to shoot at in your Kansas expedition.
Well, sir, I can honestly say I was never so impressed in all my life. Actors, newspapers, photographers, all of us traveled to Dodge City. That's a town of about 10,000 people, but when we got there, we found an additional 90,000 visitors. Well, I've been in this country over 4 years now, but I never really saw America until that trip. I mean the real America, the people who go to see the pictures we make. I've never seen such hospitality or real down-to-earth courtesy as we saw on that trip. And here's one very important discovery for me. After making it, a broadcast like this has taken on an entirely new meaning. I used to just talk into this little black microphone here and hope for the best, but now I feel that I know the people we're playing to. And knowing them, I can't help feeling that I know the finest people in the world. Good night.
And so say all of us. Good night, and thank you, C.B.
Good night.
Good night, Mr. DeMille.
Good night, Lancers. Report here for duty soon again.
Tonight's cast included Ian McLaren as Major Hamilton, C. Montague Shaw as Sir Thomas Woodley, Nancy Leach as Tanya, Lal Chandmera as Vizier, Eric Snowden as Captain Hendrickson, and Ian Purvis as Mr. Dawson. Errol Flynn appeared through courtesy of Warner Brothers. Brian Ahern's new Warner picture is Juarez. C. Aubrey Smith is seen in the RKO film Five Came Back, and Douglas Dumbrill in Captain Fury.
Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Edward G. Robinson in Bullets or Ballots with Mary Astor, Humphrey Bogart, and Otto Kruger. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.